Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all good? I hope so. Y'all listen. This time, let's rewind it back to Good Times, Season 6, Episode 20, A Matter of Mothers, alright? So this episode opens with Mike on the phone trying to convince one of his little friends that he's into her for her mind and not her body. But that doesn't go too well because he messed around and said the wrong thing. So then Walona walks in with this pink top that her new boyfriend Jeffrey bought for Penny. And Walona is a little uncomfortable with it because she feels like he's coming on a little too strong and buying too many expensive gifts. So she tries to get Flo to tell her what to do. But Flo tells her, look, this is your child. You're going to have to do what you feel best is for your daughter. And that's when Penny walks in. Walona tells her that she's decided that she can keep the top. And she tells Penny that she always wanted her to have the finer things in life. So Penny is like, are you sure, Mama? Walona says, absolutely, positively. And why she say that? Penny goes straight to the hallway and tell Bookman that he can take that bed into the apartment. But Walona tells him to hold up because Jeff has gone too far. She already said yes to the tape recorder and this little top, but a brass bed, no ma'am. So she told Bookman to take it back. He can't believe she's serious since he just told her that he brought this up 17 flights of stairs. But she was. And Penny was not happy because her mama just told her that she wanted her to have the finer things in life. But now she's telling her no to something that she always wanted. Penny is like, but Mama. Walona says, no buts. You heard what I said. Penny tells her, yeah, I heard what you said both times. So she rushes in the house and slams the door. Walona looks back at Flo like, what do I do? Like, what's happening right now? So later on, Walona and Jeff, they make it back from their date. And Walona is really bothered by Penny being upset with her. Jeff convinces her to let Penny keep the bed, and he also has this idea to have a party to get her mind off of everything and to celebrate them coming out as a couple. He says he'll invite his friends and she can invite hers. Nothing big, just a little get together. So he leaves, and when he goes to the elevator, Mrs. Gordon, Penny's bio mom, she's on the elevator. She was getting impatient and wanted to know what was going on. He tells her that the party is on for tomorrow, and I think he was about to tell her that they shouldn't be doing Walona like that, but Lanella, Mrs. Gordon, tells him that she didn't pay him to think. She already explained to him that Penny was legally adopted, and in order to get her back, she'd have to prove that Walona was an unfit parent. So it's the day of the party. Flo and Michael, they're over to Walona's house helping her set up. She's feeling good about it, but that was until she saw the type of friends Jeff brought to her house. Walona was like, where did you find these folks? At a circus? Flo wanted to know what the heck was going on. These folks got street pharmaceuticals, spiking the punch with goldfish, all kinds of crazy stuff. So Walona pulls Jeff to the side to find out, what type of people did you bring to my house around my daughter? He tries to say that they're good people, but she told him he brought the wrong kind of people to her house. So she walks over to the door, opens it, and tells him that he needs to get them folks up out of her house. But when she opens the door, the police are there. One officer goes looking around and comes out with Bookman. The other officer asks him, where did you find that? Why did mine say under the bed? Now we know good and well you ain't found no Bookman under no bed. So he's about to walk Bookman out, but Walona tells the officer that all of this is just a big mistake. And when she says that, Mrs. Gordon walks in and says, you got that right, Miss Woods, and the mistake seems to be yours. Now both Penny and Walona are shocked to see her. So the officer thanks Mrs. Gordon for telling them about the party. But again, Walona tries to explain that she doesn't know any of these people. She says, these ain't my people, these Jeff friends. Jeff said, I don't know these folks. They were here when I got here. Walona couldn't believe that that man stood up there and told that bold-faced lie like he didn't bring them folks with him. But the way Mrs. Gordon was staring into his soul, I don't think he was going to go against her. So Officer Mike, a.k.a. John Witherspoon, Mr. Coordination himself, rest in peace to Mr. Witherspoon, he says, and just like I thought. So he orders everybody to get out the apartment. So Walona walks over and tells Mrs. Gordon, so you set me up? You behind all of this? The officer comes back and tries to take Walona out, but Mrs. Gordon tells him that it's okay because she's gonna enjoy this little conversation. Penny asks her, like, what are you doing here? And she said that she was coming to take her home, to a home that has a mother and a father. And Penny was going to have everything that she could possibly dream of. Mrs. Gordon said even though she has everything now, she's still missing one thing, and that's Penny. Well, Lona tells Penny, go to your room so I can talk to Mrs. Gordon. Well, Lona says, nah, I know you not wrapped too tight. While you talking about it's all in the past, but that little girl in that room back there, she's still having nightmares from all the stuff that you did to her. And I pray to God that one day she forgets about it. But Mrs. Gordon says, look, people change, so there's no need to bring up all of that. Well, Lona can't believe she said that, because if you changed, why did you set me up like this? She said, well, I needed insurance just in case you wanted to take me to court. And Walona let her know that she was most definitely going to take her to court for trying to frame her. And she know her plan isn't going to work because she has too many people who would vouch for her. Mrs. Gordon was like, I see your hand and I'll raise you 50 because I have pictures, 2 police officers, and a dozen witnesses who will swear you were throwing a wild party in the presence of a minor. And you add that to an uptown lawyer and tell me who the judge is going to believe. And to that, Walona really couldn't say much because she knew there was a possibility that she'd lose. Mrs. Gordon says, can we just talk this out, woman to woman? Baby, Walona did a slow turn to her and said, that depends. What woman is going to talk to you? Miss Gordon was looking like, I know this happened, girl. But she points out the look in Penny's eyes on top of all the expensive gifts that she bought her. Walona looked over to Jeff because she thought Jeff was the one that was buying those gifts. Miss Gordon wanted to know what could Walona possibly give Penny that would top the clothes, the tape recorder, the $2,500 brass bed. Walona said, love. Can you give her love? She said, I'm here, ain't I? Walona said, so is the garbage. Baby, Walona is tearing this lady up. So at this point, Mrs. Gordon is over it. She tells Jeff to come on so they can get on up out of there. Walona steps in front of him and says, so you were in on the whole thing? Mrs. Gordon says, yes. He was a very expensive part of the whole thing and a mighty fine actor. Walona is disgusted. She told her to get her bit player, all day props, and get the heck up out of her house before she broke her neck. So she goes over to get the tape recorder and she sees that it's recording. Penny walks out of her room. She asks her how long had it been on, and it's been recording for a good minute. When she rewinds it, you hear Mrs. Gordon say, I needed insurance just in case you wanted to take this thing to court. So she tried to get Penny to give her the tape recorder, but Penny gave it to Walona. And Mrs. Gordon didn't like that, baby, and that mask fell right on off. She tried to lay hands on Penny, but Walona put her straight on that wall like she was about to play pin the tail on the donkey. Walona told them to get out of her house. Miss Gordon, she just standing up there in tears. Walona told her, I guess you better go down there and tell the police that everything is good up here because I don't think you want to take this to court. She says, no. Penny tells her bio mom, Mrs. Gordon, that she can have the recorder because no matter what anyone says, she'll always be with Walona because that's who she sees as her mom. And I'm like, little girl, that's all sweet, that sounds beautiful, but you better not pass the recorder over there. And that was the end of the episode. And what I found special about this episode is that while they were setting up the party and Penny asked if she could record the music, the song that was playing in the background was the Jackson 5, Shake Your Body. I was like, come on, marketing. All right now, y'all hear Michael Jackson back there, baby. Mike said, shake your body down to the ground. Let's dance. Let's shout, shout. Shake your body down to the ground. Hey, come on, Mike. Shout out to Michael Jackson, baby. But hey, tell me what y'all thought about Good Times, episode 20 of season 6, A Matter of Mothers, honey. And shout out to the Chip Fields, baby. When I tell you she played that part as Mrs. Gordon, you would believe that she was like that. You know what I'm saying? You know how some people can play parts so well that you have to give them the side eye like, are you like this in real life? But hey, like I said, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think and I'll talk to y'all later.